there was a narrative that they had sort of tricked people into, they had basically sold it as something different to every participant. Is that something you would agree with?
You know, they didn't trick me. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what was going on, but I was kind of used to it at the zoo anyways, you know, because there was always cameras on us all the time. And this thing actually started while we were at the zoo. But, I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but they didn't trick me in any way.
Right. But as you see, like Carol was openly spilling, Joe was openly spilling, you know, Doc Antle, everybody who was involved seemed to be gushing without any worries. And I've seen them say down on the back end that, you know, I was told, like Carol was told this was an expose on Joe. Joe was told this is an expose on Carol. Was that like a masterstroke, or is that like, should they be tricking people like that if that's exactly what happened?
I don't know. I think they knew what was going on.
In the show, I have to say, and again, a lot of people do say this online, you came across as one of the more grounded, saner, no offense to the entire cast, but you're one of the like more solid people in a crazy lineup of characters. Is this something you'd agree with yourself?
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, it was pretty crazy. You know, everybody was pretty crazy, but you know, everybody was spot on in the show. I thought they portrayed themselves rather well. Nobody was just misrepresented, I don't think, in any way.
Right. So it's not an exaggeration. Everybody is how they were.
That's how they are. Yeah. Hard to believe, huh?
That is a wild group you were hanging out with.
They did tone Joe down a little bit, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because he's pretty flamboyant, yeah.
Wow, that was toned down Joe.
Yeah.
That is incredible. One thing personally, I picked up on the show, like while all this crazy stuff was going on, Joe seemed to have a lot of loyalty around him. And it seemed like, again, this is a documentary and how it was, you know, edited, of course, but it seemed like everybody sort of suddenly turned on him at the end. And you were kind of one of the last people to even move against him, but it still felt like suddenly everybody was like, oh, Joe actually is a bad guy, and testified against him. Is that something you would agree with?
You know, yeah. Right there towards the end, everybody did turn on everybody. I mean, they just kind of rolled over, but, you know, a lot of them, some of them are still with Jeff Lowe, you know, and it was Jeff Lowe's way or the highway. So they rolled on him. But, you know, I'm not really against Joe. I was against some of the stuff he did, yeah. But I worked for the man. I had to do what I was told to do and did it the way I did it. But he's not where he should be. He shouldn't be in there for 22 years. I mean, they pretty much provoked this. The man would have never went that far without somebody provoking it and turning words around to make it look like he did this. But he did do some stuff wrong, but I think he's done enough time.
Right. So you don't believe the murder for hire plot narrative then?
No, he would have never went that far. I know I was part of Joe's life for 14 years. You know, I worked with him side by side every day.
Why is he going to hire someone he doesn't like to go into a job? Like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And along the other plot points then of the show, the fire, who do you believe started the fire?
You know, I still think Rick Kirkham did it. It looks like Rick Kirkham in the video. I just think it was him. I don't think that footage is gone. I think that footage is still around because during that fire, one safe is missing.
Really?
Yes. And see, they don't tell you none of that. So.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That footage is out there somewhere.
Well, even like, I mean, they had a lot of footage for the documentary. That's come from somewhere, right? Like.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to realize Joe videoed everything we did on that zoo. Everything he did on that zoo, he had a camera on him. And if you was around him, you were getting videoed every day for years. So, yeah, there is tons of footage out there.
Right. The $1 million question, I'm sure you've been asked a billion times as well. Carol's husband, what happened to him?
You know, she's the one that brought up sardine oil. I'm pretty sure he's in a tiger somewhere.
Oh my God. It's just insane. I can't believe I'm asking these questions as things that actually happened, but they did. Would you still consider yourself friends with Joe? I mean, I'll be friends with Joe. Now, I have not talked to him since he's been incarcerated simply because I know Joe and Joe can't shut up. Everything in jail is recorded and they can use it against him. So I won't talk to him because he doesn't know how to just stop. Right. So you've almost not spoke to him for his own good, for his own protection.
Correct.
I see. Do you still talk to anybody else from the show?
I have not. You know, I talked to John Finley just a little bit earlier in the show part of it, but other than that, I've not reached out and talked to anybody.
Right. And did you, if you don't mind me asking, did they pay you guys a lot of money to appear in it, or was there anything discussed at all?
No, no,
Really?
there was no. Uh, every now and then I'd send them a video or some pictures or something, and they would give me some money for that. But I filmed that thing for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and didn't make biscuits out of that. I
Are you
mean, not even,
serious?
yeah, no. Netflix made all the money on that.
Huh. Now, does that make you sore at all, John? Because this is probably the biggest happened to Netflix.
You know, not really, but I have heard that some people have made money on it, and that kind of irritates me a little bit. But I've not tried to make money at all through this until now. You know, all the interviews and stuff like that. But I don't know, if it goes to a movie, it might be pretty cool. Maybe I can get some rights out of it.
I heard you also were interested in a certain Matthew McConaughey to play you. Is that still your favorite?
I do. I really think he'd be a really good me. You know, I don't know how they do the prosthetic legs on him, but you know, they did Forrest Gump, so they can make it. TV can make anything happen.
I think that would be a perfect casting. I also Nick Cage has been cast as Joe. What did you make of that?
I look at Nicolas Cage in a little different perspective, I guess. I didn't expect him to play as Joe, but you know, there's 2 or 3 of these movies out there trying to get going. So he with the movie first wins, I think is how that's going to work out.
Yeah, I think you're right. What do you think then, as we discussed editing in the documentary, what do you think is the biggest detail that they left out that sort of skewed the narrative?
You know, there's a lot of details that were left out. You know, my biggest thing is the Jeff and Dylan fight. You know, they rolled around in a fist fight for 15 minutes on the ground, and none of that got put out there.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of drama that happened on that zoo. I mean, a lot.
Dang, does that footage exist?
You know, I'm sure somebody's got it. But I was there firsthand and seen it happen, so I know it happens. So.
Wow, maybe Kirkland has it and he's going to release it later.
Could be.
Another thing that they didn't go into, and I hope you don't mind me asking, much in the documentary was your own accident. We only sort of touched on that a little bit, but that's another completely separate, crazy story.
Yeah, that's a whole story. That's a story in its own right there. My whole life is a story in itself. You know, I used to bungee jump professionally, and the people that did the bungee jump, I'd actually stopped working for them, and they built this zip line to go around to amusements, to like fairs and stuff. And we were getting it ready, and we were testing it out. And anyways, the pulley failed, and I fell 50 feet. Broke my back, my hip, shattered my feet. I was paralyzed for a couple of years. Realized I didn't want no part of a wheelchair, so I learned how to walk. And I shouldn't have been walking in anyways, ended up with bone infections, and that's how I ultimately lost my feet. So
I think that's a Netflix documentary in itself.
Yeah, there's probably a whole story there.
Like, did you, again, they didn't touch on this, and I don't mind if you don't want to, but did you get like a big settlement out of that, or did you just get like fucked over?
No, you know, I just got screwed over. You know, that's one of them things. Back then you didn't sue your friends, you know, and they were friends of mine, and instead they'd take care of me. And anyways, I'm all right. I take care of myself. Yeah.
You never sued them?
No.
Oh
no.
My God.
Yeah.
Did they take care of you?
No.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I assume they're not your friends anymore.
You know, I don't see them. I don't even think they know I exist anymore.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is the statute of limitations gone on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that happened back in '94, so.
And you just can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it. No, it's that story's even crazier, man. You know, they won the Texas lottery, and yeah, it's pretty nuts.
They won the Texas lottery.
Yeah.
Wait. Hang on a second.
Yeah, they did.
They actually won the Texas lottery.
Yeah. They won like $16 million or something like that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And they just walked off with that money and when was this? How long after the accident?
Yeah.
How long after the accident did they win the lotto?
You know, it's like 5 or 6 years after the accident, 7 years, something like that. Yeah. I'm going through a divorce now. As soon as the courts get back into session, they'll proceed with it, but it's on hold because of this COVID.
Very sorry to hear that. Are you seeing anybody yourself right now?
I am actually. I have a girlfriend and happiest I've been in years, man. I've not ever been this happy. So it's going all right.
Oh, I'm delighted. I'm delighted for
Yeah.
that. Finally, you give me some good news, John. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to tell me about this new project now. You've done a little guest star bit in it, and I've watched the trailer, and it is wacky. If you
Oh my God.
thought Tiger King was crazy, this one might just tip the scales.
You know, it's what we need right now during this COVID. Everybody needs a laugh. So yeah, it's called Barbie and Kendra Save the Tiger King, and it's on fullmoonfeatures.com is where you see it at, and it comes out Friday. And yeah, it's crazy.
So give me a synopsis on what exactly this is, because it's very hard to describe what's going on.
It is. You know, it's really hard to describe. All I can say is I know it's going to make you laugh, and you're going to forget about this COVID. So it's a perfect time for this to come out too. Yeah, the two girls are crazy, man. They make you laugh all the time. They just get into stuff, and it's just really, really funny. Everybody's going to enjoy it, I think.
So it's like a spoof documentary kind of about these two girls, and they want to save Joe from jail, and it also is a fictionalized account of Joe as a child in the jungle. Am I right?
Yes, you are right.
This looked like it kind of started as a joke project, but I have a feeling it might take off cult status, be like Sharknado, and have 4 or 5 sequels down the line. What do you think?
Oh, it might.
John, tell me, where and when can we see this film?
All right, this Friday it comes out for everybody to see on fullmoonfeatures.com. Barbie and Kendra Save the Tiger King. You got to see it.